It's time for the shop report with
Barbershop J.
What up, sports fans? Welcome to the Shop Report. I'm Barbershop J, or should I say Scruffy McJ. I'll be your host for the day. Here's what's happening. Of course, we want to remind you the Shop Report is brought to you by Rocket Digital Media. It's the one-stop shop for all your digital marketing needs. You can look them up on Facebook at RDM Detroit, 1D, 2E's Detroit, or you can slide on over to the website, rocketdigital.net. That's ROCKIT digital.net. Make sure when you're there, while you're there, you tell them the BSJ sent you. And for my folk out there in TV land, if you want to leave your questions or comments during today's program, by all means, please do so. And we will throw it up on the screen. And y'all know what's coming next. If you're one of them folks that wants to leave a comment that's indignant or ignorant in nature, it won't be seen on this screen. Matter of fact, here's what you'll get.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
We wanted to also let the folks out there in TV land know we have a new start time. That's right, 8 on the PM side. We have other obligations around about 9 o'clock. We're making some changes. That's the way things go in this business, so to speak. You know, things are always on the fly, up and down, all the way around. It's like the stock market. You know, one day it's here and one day it's there, and then it's somewhere in between. But yeah, we messing around with a new start time here at 8 p.m. to see how things go with that. Sorry about that for all our faithful followers and such out there. While we wait for a few of our other co-hosts to get here as well, we will be kind of tinkering with the idea of adding a Wednesdays show in addition to Sundays, with possibly at some point in the near future, Wednesday being the primary day and sole day for the show's production, or I don't even know how I want to say that, or whatever the case may be, given that football, NFL football is right around the corner. And us coming on Sundays, you know, the time that we do come on, whether it's 8 or 9 during football season, it kind of disrupts the flow of the Sunday night football game in between the afternoon games endings and the Sunday night games beginnings or whatnot. You know what I mean? We don't want to disrupt, you know, nobody is watching the NFL, because I mean, you know, folks follow NFL football faithfully, college football as well, but NFL more so. So we don't want to interrupt or get in the way of some of you all watching your football games and such out there. So Wednesdays at some point, again, in the near future, will be the show day, and 8 p.m. will be the show time. That being said, joining me on the program today is my cat from up north, Joey James, a.k.a. I don't even see where his intro is today, Double J. Tell the people what you got to say.
Well, it sounds like we're short selling, Mr. Stock Market.
Yeah, right. Okay, my bad. Okay, while we wait for our other co-hosts to get here and join us, we got a few latecomers to the party or whatever. We'll get things started. I was hoping that we would have TJ on here this early, so we could really give him the business about this thing we've been going back and forth.
Oh my.
Yeah, in our thread. And just to let the people out there know, we obviously off air have a text thread that Doc, Brother Rich, Double J, myself, and TJ are in. And we've been going back and forth. But this is, excuse me, this is a little side note. Sorry about that. We will get to our Hoop Central. We got that on the menu. This is a little part of Hoop Central. I wanted to make this a little side note. And then, of course, the gridiron we have for today's items on the menu. But anywho, I wanted to elaborate on, and of course, again, fill the viewers in out there what we've been discussing off air. I wanted to elaborate on this whole deal about, and I don't know how true it is, about LeBron all of a sudden saying that if the Lakers don't get Kyrie, then he wants out, and so on and so forth, or he's threatening to want to be out. Look, man, at the end of the day, and this is what I was wanting, hoping that TJ could answer for us, because I was just going to ask a couple questions. And I'll ask them to you since you're the only one here. And you don't have to raise your hand because you did show up on time. Double J. Is not the narrative surrounding LeBron, he makes everybody else better?
Well, historically, only in the context or lens of his fan base.
Oh, okay. I'm glad you were very specific, or Pacific, as the little kids might say. You understand? I'm glad you were. And here's why I asked that. Because TJ likes to always, he loves talking about not moving the goalpost, but yet and still his goalpost has dolly. It's like on a dolly. Okay. It's never stationary. And again, I wish he was here so that we could, I don't want to be talking behind his back, so to speak, or saying something about him that, he's not here. Why he's not here to defend himself. So TJ, whenever you're ready, by all means, you are part of the platform or the P program. By all means, jump on. And when you do jump on, if you jump on, we will gladly go back over this so that you can defend yourself. But in the meanwhile,
how about this? I'll do my best to defend.
The
speaker for the speaker.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's all. Yeah, let's call it that, because I don't know if you could do the kind of job that he does. But anyway, what I don't understand is the defense of if part of that narrative, according to his fans or whomever, is that he makes everybody else better, then why is there always this question of Hall of Famers? Why does that always come into the equation? That's irrelevant. Yeah, that's what TJ was saying, something about the Hall of Famers and talking about Jordan didn't win till he had Pippen. And I said, well, if that's the case, then neither one of them win till they had somebody. You get what I'm trying to say? Bron didn't win till he had Ray Allen and D Wade and Kevin Love and Kyrie and so on and so forth. Listen, who is largely responsible for Westbrook being in LA in a Lakers uniform?
Well, remember that deal. Well, wait a minute. Hang on. Look, I've had conflicting reports, or at least my recollection, that was a Lakers brass move.
Okay, so
there were other people there. To my understanding, LeBron co-signed it. So he again, an accomplice to a crime. You still committed. You're still guilty.
You're still guilty,
right?
Okay, all right. So then here's where I'm going with that. I don't like the word "if," but I'll use it in this instance. If I'm the best player on that team or on a team, or the best at whatever it is, okay? And
is he though?
It's almost rhetorical, so to speak. I'm not being literal here.
Right. I'll let you finish.
Okay. Then whoever did agree to sign off on it, he had some say so. All parties had to be whoever makes the moves or whatever the case may be, whoever says, okay, this is how it's going to be, whatever. Everybody had to agree on Westbrook being there. To our co-host's point, Westbrook got to leave because of his mindset. Hold on. Stop right there. That's what he said in the thread. Yes, you got to go back and read the thread. That's what he said. Westbrook has to leave because of his mindset. And here's what I'm saying. Whoever did not see or have any idea prior to about Westbrook's mindset, they should be fired or released or let go. You get what I'm trying to tell you? Because listen, man, this is really irritating. Westbrook is who he has always been. And if you're trying to, and this is why I'm going to the point I'm making about being the best. Who we got here? Who we got there? I can't see you, Mr. Detroit Land. Who is this, Mr. Detroit Land? Oh, boy. Oh, man.
Just on time.
Yeah.
Timing is everything.
Yeah, I'm glad you showed up. So let me finish this here. And now the sky, that's what's happening. That's what's up. Let me finish this here. So.
I'm so glad.
What about if I'm trying to win Am I trying to add? What does it say? Me trying to add a guy like Westbrook, already knowing what type of guy he is and what his mentality is, versus a guy like DeMar DeRozan or Buddy Hield, because we know.
Oh, wait a minute.
Hold it. Buddy Hield is a far better shooter than Russell Westbrook. He is. DeMar DeRozan, a far better mid-range player than Russell Westbrook. You can count on Buddy Hield and DeMar DeRozan far more than you can on Westbrook in certain moments. And that's not a disdain towards Westbrook.
Which one of them are MVPs?
Listen,
which one averaged a triple-double?
Listen. Here's let me say it this way. Which one of them are more complementary to what the Lakers like to do with LeBron James? LeBron James has always said he loves to have shooters, the Kyle Korvers and the Ray Allens. And I'm not saying that DeMar and Hield are to the level of shooters those guys are. But listen, if you're the type of player who has to have shooters around you, guys who like to stand in the corners and so on and so forth, okay? Then you don't add a guy like
DeMar DeRozan is not a great three-point shooter either.
Yeah,
is Buddy Hield?
You even said yourself. You said mid-range.
What I'm saying? Here's what I'm saying to you: DeMar DeRozan and Buddy Hield could have both been Lakers.
No.
Yes, they could have.
No, then what?
Yes.
That would have taken place before the agreement with the Bulls.
DeMar DeRozan and Buddy Hield were out there at the same time Westbrook was out there.
Well, I don't think Buddy Hield, you had to trade for him, right?
Yeah, from Sacramento at the time.
Listen, Buddy Hield and DeMar DeRozan were out there at the same time as Westbrook. They had the potential or the possibilities of being Lakers.
But now wait a minute. Remember, the key word here was at the time was need. They needed a point guard.
But here's what I'm saying to you though. Okay, so if they needed a point guard, then they still need one. They still need one. That's why they chopped for Kyrie.
Well, you're not wrong.
Okay, so
but it actually, matter of fact, I mean, not just the positionally, it reinforces exactly that sentiment I made a moment ago as to why it was not the other two. Simply just based off of position, because as TJ just alluded to, and to your point with DeRozan being a mid-range shooter, not a great three-point shooter, then Hield being a streaky shooter, and definitely more a three guy than a mid-range for sure.
Okay, but wait a minute.
So you're talking about situational players here.
I'm glad you used that term or word, situational. Aren't we in an era of positionless basketball? Isn't LeBron considered a point forward? So in other words, in situations, especially those situations that are crucial when it comes to playoff series and so on and so forth, and the outcomes being in your favor, it don't have to be all the time. But we've seen LeBron be the point guy or point guard in certain situations.
Let me ask you
hold on. That's why I keep going back to, if you look at Westbrook and you say point guard, you got to go a step further and ask yourself, what type of point guard do the Lakers need? One who likes to hoist shots regardless? Because that's the type of player Westbrook is. Yes, he's a triple-double machine in the whole nine or whatever the case may be. But if you look at him when it comes to games and impacts on games and outcomes of games, the two don't seem to always match up. So again, he's a point guard, but what type of point guard? I would have rather have had, this is my point about complementary players. It's more so than the name of the guy that you're adding, as opposed to if the guy that you're trying to add, whether or not he's complementary to what it is that you do. Westbrook, prior to joining the Lakers, even though he's a point guard, obviously he's not the type of point guard necessary for what the Lakers like to do. Otherwise, they wouldn't be pounding for Kyrie right now. DeMar DeRozan and Buddy Hield, with LeBron playing point in certain situations, would have been far more complimentary than adding Westbrook, especially if his mindset is what it has always been. Because again, if Westbrook having to leave because of his mindset, who did not know that before he got there? And then if that's the case, why is Kyrie on the front burner talking about going to the Lakers.
Kyrie's not. He hasn't even asked for a trade.
I know he had. I know. I listen. I know Kyrie hasn't said anything. I'm talking about the fan base. I'm talking about the folks on Facebook and social media and Twitter.
Because they're running out of competent solutions.
Oh.
And they know historically that has worked. It got the job done.
What's that?
They want
threatening a trade? Huh?
No. Just saying that pairing.
What pairing?
Of Kyrie with LeBron has worked historically.
Oh, of course.
Because
yeah.
Who else? Take a look around the remainder of the league. What are you going to get, Chris Paul? In that maybe it works.
Well, you're not going to get John Wall. We know that already. You get what I'm trying to say? But anyway, yeah, TJ, we can't really see you. You Shadow Man today, or you Mr. Detroit Land? Who you are? Oh, okay. Now we can see you. Yeah, now we can see you a little bit there.
Something going on with my camera for some reason. I don't know.
Hang on. Let's see here.
It's like it's zoomed in. Can you see me now?
Yeah, don't change it. Yeah, leave it right there, Double J. I'll tell you why. Yeah, but ain't nothing wrong with your camera. Yeah, there you go, man. All you gotta do is lean over some like you do when you're leaning into the microphone. But anyway, go ahead. What you got to say?
It's funny how you protect your top 75 of all time, and then but Westbrook, he's top 75 too. He's in that list, but you won't protect him because he's more of a new schooler basketball than your old heads. You protect all of them, even though a lot of them don't even deserve to be on there because they straight trash when it compared to some of these players now. But anyway. Why you want to protect Westbrook like that?
First of all, hold on, Double J. First of all, you need to go back. You ain't watched enough videos, obviously, because you ain't did the reels, but it's all good.
Oh, no. Too soon.
Second of all, no, it's not soon enough. Second of all, you need to go back a little further. When you talk about you go back and watch the videos, you need to go back and go back a little further. I've always been a staunch supporter of Westbrook, even though he's had brain cramp moments in. My whole thing is always being signature players make signature plays and the signature games most signature moments. That's what everybody remembers. Nobody remembers all the other stuff.
And when did that attribute to him?
I'm not attributing that to him.
No.
I'm not
dig in the archives, TJ. I want to find.
I'm not digging no more. I found what I need.
I'm not attributing that to him. I'm not attributing that to him. I'm prefacing that by what I'm getting ready to say about him. What I'm saying is, I've been a staunch supporter of his because one thing I like about Westbrook, when I say about signature players making signature plays and signature games, signature moments, Westbrook does not have nearly not enough of them in them moments. This is why people question him and his shot selection and his game decisions in certain situations. What I am saying about him that I've always said that I like about him, he shows up every night. Now go check the archives on that. I've always said that.
Hey, listen, man. Nobody don't care about perfect attendance. That only applies in school.
Yeah, I know you're a fan. I know you're a fan of load management. I know you're a fan of load management. I know you're a fan of load management. That's why this new CBA getting ready to be changed. That's what we're getting ready to talk about here. Yeah, that's why this new CBA getting ready to be a whole.
I bet that's gonna make your day. But your boy Popovich is the reason you got load management now. So don't blame it on my boy.
Okay, I got you.
Greg Popovich for it.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, I got you.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
So wait a minute. So you still do you believe that? Why are we here with Westbrook right now? Outside, take attitude out of the equation.
Because he's not. Listen, before he ever got over there, go back and look at the shows. He's not the type of player that is complimentary or conducive to how the Lakers like to especially with Frank Vogel. That's why he's out of there. The Lakers' style of play does not match what Russell Westbrook brings to the court. It didn't. Before they even went after him, I could have told you that. I said it. It's not. So for him to be over there, when he got over there, I'm not surprised that it did not work. I'm not surprised they're in the market for a point guard again. Because are they in the market for a point guard because of the acronym? Or are they in the market for a point guard because of a guy who's a facilitator? See, that's what the type of point guard. That's why I say, what type of point guard? Yeah, he's a point guard by position, but if you watch him play,
what would you say Chalmers was? Because obviously he was a scapegoat in many occasions.
But Chalmers, he played point guard when he's at Kansas. But to me, Chalmers really should have probably been a shooting guard, even though he wasn't a great shooter.
That's the problem.
He wasn't. He played the position too. It was technically, man. The acronym don't mean much nowadays. That's what I'm trying to say.
But then why is it? Then if it's interchangeable, then why isn't it working? And I'm not saying
it was interchangeable.
If we're in an era of positionless basketball, and there's the complement of talent that he has, both on the existing roster and then even what I'll say is recent history with bringing guys like Rondo, at one point in time back, and then even predating that with Miami with what did work outside of Kyrie. Why did he found success in Miami with Chalmers at essentially the helm, if you will? But so why did it work there? Because Chalmers would have been deemed a facilitator. Yeah, he could shoot, but
Chalmers ate up a lot of the early minutes. But in them crucial moments, LeBron had the ball in his hand.
But wouldn't that still be the case today?
Okay, listen, but when you got a guy like Westbrook, they were looking for point guards nowadays in the NBA, even though we say positionless basketball, we always mention a position. This is why that's a conundrum to me. We say positionless, but then we say, is this guy a true point guard or is he a true small forward? Make up my mind. I'm saying this to you. At the end of the day, it's one thing to have the acronym next to your name. But when you watch Westbrook play, and this is not a knock on him, when you watch him play, does he control the game on both ends of the floor?
No, but who does?
Chris Paul. For
Chris
one.
Paul don't control nothing on defense.
Chris Paul controls the game. Listen, when I say control the answer. When I say control the game on both ends of the floor, I'm not saying your point guard shouldn't be able to play defense. What I'm saying to you is look at Chris Paul knows when to speed up. He understands tempo. It's a certain.
Understand that when he got his butt whooped last year in the playoff.
Man, listen. I mean, everybody gonna listen. Teams gonna get beat. Drew Holiday.
He looked terrible though.
Drew Holiday understands how to control the game on both ends of the floor.
And that's why Milwaukee won.
That's what Westbrook has one speed. He has one speed.
But this is why I'm trying to ask you that even when that's why I'm suggesting if Mario Chalmers were still in the league, I would be surprised that he wasn't on the roster, that they didn't even give him like a 10-day contract, just because he knows the system, whatever that LeBron system is. And that's why even the influence of coaching and style, all these things almost sound like they conflict with one another more than they ever can achieve. Any type of harmony or balance would probably be the best word, because, as it sounds, something's going to tip at some point.
Let's not put all the blame on Westbrook, because AD was hurt every game. Like, come on, man.
Well, I'm not blaming Westbrook. What I'm saying to you is Westbrook, for people to be all up in arms now about Westbrook having to now get out of LA, he's all what he is right now, and the reason why everybody want him out of there is the reason why they shouldn't have never wanted him in the first place. Because he's a ball-dominant
point guard?
Call it ball dominant, call it what you want.
But that's why DeJuan Wagner didn't work in Cleveland then. So should we blame LeBron for ruining DeJuan Wagner's career?
No. Westbrook should never have been in LA with the Lakers in the first place. Even though he gets his triple doubles, he does all of that kind of stuff. But when you really sit and watch him play, did you think his style of play was going to be complementary to what the Lakers do?
I thought it would work because of LeBron, but it didn't. So
how could he have gotten as far as he did with Durant with OKC when, especially under the circumstances with, needing the ball as frequently as he did, which is the point that you're pointing out.
On the program, shout out to my man.
Maybe he can talk some sense into us here.
No, who needs
TJ's on the program? Ain't no sense on the. You can't talk sense. Thank
you, brother.
I'm so happy you here because I know y'all was talking crazy. Y'all be talking real crazy in them text messages. So
I'm glad to see you pull the right shirt out the closet today. You look proper. You dress proper.
Brother Rich, I didn't even notice that. I'm glad you peeped that.
Got to be proper dressing properly.
Okay,
that's one of his pop's t-shirt.
Detroit Land merch will be on the way soon.
Okay. Yeah. But again, Brother Rich, we're talking about Westbrook, and we actually was talking over some stuff that we was mentioning in the thread. Okay. And this whole ideal about Westbrook got to leave now because of his mindset.
No, he got to leave because of the Kings' mindset.
Oh, okay.
Well, wait a minute. See, this is
LeBron's mind. It ain't Westbrook's mindset. It's the King, because technically you want Westbrook to be like he is right now, because he claims he's ready to be coachable and go again and try, because they got a new coach. We're supposed to get this team a run now, but the reality is
32 years old. He should have been coachable.
No. That's not the issue. That's not it. We're talking about as the circumstance is right now. We can get to another conversation that we've had this conversation on this program about coaching in the NBA and what's up to snuff and what's not. So I'm not talking about that right now. What I'm talking about right now is the fact that this team, this nucleus, this big three, if you will, just got together. And last year they put the problem on Frank Vogel that he didn't really know how to use Westbrook. That's who everybody blamed. Shannon Sharp and all the Bron heads blamed the coaching. Yes, they gave Westbrook some issue, but they talked about how the coach was using him as the preliminary factor in all of this. Now you got a real coach. Darvin Ham is saying, I know how to use Westbrook. I know how to get him to listen. I know how to do this. But the problem in that squad is that the Laker management is not feeling LeBron, and LeBron ain't feeling Westbrook. Now LeBron wants to win another ring, but he want to get another shot to build his team his way, like he's used to doing. Well, Jeannie Buss and them apparently ain't having that this time. They're not really acquiescing to all his demands. So now you definitely got a split between Westbrook and LeBron, like in the days of Kyrie and LeBron. And I'm gonna say this: LeBron don't want to take none of the responsibility, and he should take some. He need to take some. He put this squad together. He did this.
Yeah, because if I'm not mistaken, who is it that said something about y'all talked about how old my squad was, keep that same energy and all that type of stuff.
The championship squad. LeBron said keep the same energy. LeBron said all these things that, remember now, go back. We talking this nonsense now. Go back and check the tape when they put this team together. Yes, you had some naysayers, but nevertheless, you had people saying that LeBron would bring the best out of Westbrook and that Anthony Davis was ready to take the next step this year. And the Lakers were favored to win the title. Let's not act like, remember, their season was a major disappointment because they were not favored to just go to the final. They were favored to win the title. That's a fact.
Yeah, they sure were.
How we just go from that conversation now to now we're going to all put it on Westbrook? It can't just be on again. So check the tape on this program. We've been honest on this program about certain players for the longest time. We called the trade that the fact that no player all the stars were going to leave New Orleans at some time. That AD was going to get out of there. When he signed with New Orleans, we said in this program he was never going to stay there. He was going to be out in a few years. The same thing we said with Westbrook when he was playing in Houston. We said it at all his stops that he was not a player that could be relied on like that. Just like we said it about James Harden. All of us on this program said that about James Harden numerous times. So this is not a surprise. I didn't think Westbrook could work. However,
I didn't either.
This is why I don't know how y'all run away from when y'all want to use language of the GOAT and the greatest of this and the greatest of that. Okay, if this is the player that was supposed to make everybody around him better, the hope was that he was going to make Westbrook into a championship player. That Westbrook was coming home. He was ready to settle down and play team basketball. He understood it was team first. They had all these team meetings and they had these dinners and they had pictures. Remember now, this all came out, leaked out that they were having dinners at his house. You saw pictures of them having all backyard of Bronze Mansion. You know where y'all had the Father's Day party.
Hold that thought, brother. We're gonna take a 30-second right quick. We'll be right back. Put that remote down. We coming right back.
It's Kay Cunningham. You watching the Shop Report?
It's Chris Murray, and you're watching the Shop Report.
Touch that dial.
Max and Key, you're dropping in on the Shop Report.
Hey, I'm Billy Butler, and thank you for watching the Shop Report. Hey guys, I'm Les Norman, former Kansas City Royal, and you're watching the Shop Report.
Barbershop Jay, Quentin Hines, Super Bowl champion. I'm ready. Let's do it. I'm on.
Commander Brown, Detroit Rivers Mountain Training, and I'm watching the Shop Report.
Double J, you know.
All right, we back,
Double
brother
J,
Rich. Go ahead.
Great job with that, man. I got to give you some credit. You do a great job with that. Them some great commercials. Them people.
Oh, that's
Shop
yeah. That's
I just hope y'all get off there, Commander Brown, dude. I don't like that at the end, bro. I ain't gonna lie. He must be from Detroit.
Listen, we didn't like the T-shirt.
You heard him. It's in the commercial.
Yeah, we didn't like the T-shirt you had on. Apparently, you gave it to Double J. Apparently, y'all.
I don't like all these lies y'all be telling yourself.
Yeah, that's what's going on over here in this program. We got two buddies. You know what I'm saying? Now next week, Double J gonna have on the Cleveland Browns T-shirt. Man, y'all need to cut me in and cut it out. But go ahead, brother Rich. Go ahead and finish what you were saying, man.
Well, I think that we can surmise this, wrap this up like this. I think that everybody on the team needs to have to come to Jesus meeting and get real about it. AD got to do better. LeBron got to own some of this. They put this squad together. They talk about the majority of the players on the Lakers last year were clutch clients. How are you getting around that? You built this team. Just say that it didn't work out. I think I want to switch parts. Now, I agree. I saw a thread earlier. I saw somebody said earlier, and I think we said it on our thread as well, that they should have got Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield is the boy that I thought No, because here's the thing, Double J. Buddy Hield is the kind of, you got two supposed superstars that need the ball the greater percentage of the time in their hand. Buddy Hield is the piece that you could have plugged in there, who could have given them just enough of every little thing that they need.
Okay, check this out, man, because y'all tripping, bro. Y'all saying we got Anthony Davis and LeBron, and y'all telling me the third wheel will be Buddy Hield. Now,
no, we're not telling you that. We're telling you that Buddy Hield would have been there are many other.
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, but hold on. Y'all saying that. So let's just compare him to recent third wheels. Okay,
that's not what we're saying.
Let's compare him to Draymond Green.
No, stop comparing.
No, hold on.
You can't compare him. Listen,
you can.
Listen, no, you can't. Is he complimentary?
Man, I don't care about none of that, bro.
What do you mean? So hold on, wait. How can you not care about that? Everywhere else LeBron done been and that he done won, the whole talk has always been about shooters.
That's what
having shooters.
Yes,
okay,
having shooters around him.
Hey, listen, Buddy Hield is not a name that LeBron, Anthony, and Buddy Hield. No, bro. No.
His name ain't got listen.
No, stop saying his name.
Listen.
Give me somebody else. Say DeMar DeRozan.
Listen.
But don't say
absolutely we would have said them. We didn't even
don't say Buddy Hield, man.
Why not? Buddy Hield was one of the people that was mentioned.
I still think it doesn't work with DeMar DeRozan.
Okay, but Buddy Hield.
I agree with you on that.
Lonzo Ball would have been better than any of those three because
I totally
the distributor first.
Absolutely correct. Well, I agree with you on that.
Okay, but here's the deal, though. LeBron has always been surrounded by guys who could knock down that shot in a moment. LeBron has always been surrounded by shooters.
But look at Westbrook historically. That fits.
Westbrook just because Westbrook takes a lot of shots, don't mean that them shots. When Westbrook grow up to shoot a jumper, let's be real. You crossing your fingers. I'm talking about in terms of a pure shooter, like a Kyle Korver, or a Ray Allen. Buddy Hield would be far more. Let me say this, man. Listen, if Buddy Hield,
hear what you're saying? You're like,
if Buddy Hield wouldn't have been complimentary to what the Lakers like to do, then his name would have never came up in regards to going over there possibly to the Lakers. His name would have never came up.
He would have been another Contavious Caldwell Pope.
Absolutely
That's what
not.
Buddy Hield would have been.
Oh man, stop it! Come on, man. That's absolutely not. Buddy Hield is a way better shooter.
Double J, you don't like Buddy Hield's basketball game?
No, I've watched him in person too many times, and it is very streaky. I've watched him go off, and I've watched him where it looks like he has a blindfold on.
Okay, and guess what? When you add him to the mix of an AD and LeBron, a LeBron especially, a guy who can run the point in certain situations. Listen, all I need is
analytics you're bringing up.
I'm not bringing up analytics. What I'm saying to you is all I need is Buddy Hield when it's 92-93 with 1:36 left in the fourth quarter of Game 7. All I need is Buddy Hield to do. Listen, LeBron is known for being the guy at the top of the key, pounding the ball into the floor and kicking it to the corner.
You need Robert Horry. You need Steve Kerr. You need John Paxson.
Okay, listen.
Like there's
hold on.
But Ray Allen. You're talking about some of the game's
no,
best.
but listen. You're mentioning Paxson and Kerr as if to say, yes, those guys knock down shots. But did you hear what I just said? LeBron is the guy who's at the top of the key, pounding the ball in the floor. He's not the guy in the post being double teamed. Therefore, he has to kick out to somebody else.
And I know.
Come on, man.
That Westbrook
It's the reason why Jordan told Paxson and Kerr before the play even took place. He said, they're going to double me down over there on that block. Be ready. Jordan wasn't at the top of the key, pounding the ball in the floor and then pass it to a guy.
Everybody don't play like Jordan, bro.
But what I'm saying, listen, I'm talking.
I don't care.
I don't believe
that a good thing that they don't play like Jordan. That's a terrible thing. That's what's wrong with the league.
I disagree that there's enough quality, despite the talent that this league possesses, to accomplish exactly what you're discussing, what you're describing. I
Buddy
think
Hield would have been
clutch,
better for the Lakers to be one
you're
of them
talking
guys
about hitting a
game-winning
shot,
waiting.
Right, and
Buddy
he's
Hield
not taking that shot. I don't care what y'all
Buddy Hield would have been a better complementary player to the Lakers, waiting on that pass kick out to the corner from LeBron that we've all seen on more than one occasion.
Okay.
That's why
that one situation he would have been better. I agree. If you pass and kick it to him, he's a better shooter.
That's what we're talking about.
But
that's all I'm talking about.
What was Contavious Caldwell
What about the rest of his game?
3-point figures before he got to Los Angeles when he was with the Pistons? It was higher. And then he went to LA and got those clutch moments, and we learned that he's not clutch.
Listen, to put Contavious Caldwell Pope in the same sentence as Buddy Hield, that's disrespectful.
What?
Contavious Caldwell Pope.
But you put Buddy Hield next to Westbrook. That's disrespectful.
I'm not putting Buddy Hield next. I'm saying, listen, y'all keep leaving out the complimentary part. Buddy Hield would have been more complimentary to what the Lakers do than it is Westbrook.
Absolutely.
So what was Chalmers? Was Chalmers again? This is why
Buddy Hield is
you're
not
talking
a point
about
guard.
two positions. This is
Buddy
my
Hield
point.
How are we talking about positions in positionless basketball?
Man,
I'm talking about a guy who would knock down a shot. I'm talking about a guy who is a better shooter in situations. Listen, we've all seen LeBron in crucial moments dribble the ball and kick out to the corner.
Okay, your point is valid, but we're talking about 4 quarters. He's not a better player than Westbrook 4 quarters, bro.
Listen,
you talking about kicking and shooting, bro.
Okay, let's take that argument, nephew. All right, then. Okay,
he's not a better player in no way. He can't rebound, assist. The only thing he got better than him is a 3-point shot, bro.
TJ,
okay, he's not better than Westbrook.
Okay, we conceding that point to you. Fine. Then what's the problem? Why can't it work with Westbrook on the team?
So listen. They initially got Westbrook to alleviate some of the pressure off of LeBron because he is about 40 years old. He was supposed to spell LeBron for most of the game.
Oh, now all of a sudden his age is a problem.
Right, whatever, but I know that's what another reason they got Westbrook, so he could play point guard and LeBron don't have to do all the point guard all the time. But it didn't work out.
But it's the way Westbrook plays point guard is what I keep trying to listen. We keep talking about it's an era of positionless basketball, but then we say Westbrook is a point guard. You might as well throw that out. I don't care about Westbrook being the acronym. I'm talking about Westbrook and how he plays the position. If we're going to call or label the position, the way he plays the position is not complementary to what the Lakers and the style of play that the Lakers want to do. It's
KCP
not.
shoots a higher percentage than Buddy Hield.
Oh, wow.
We're taking 200 less shots.
Okay, got you.
He sounds more like Westbrook.
Got you.
Well, I'll say this. Westbrook is more like when Norm Nixon, you don't know nothing about this.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Your basketball knowledge.
Storm and Norm Nixon.
When Norm Nixon was playing with Magic, That's the problem the Lakers have right now. Magic had to have the ball. So they could at
Double
a certain
J,
point,
send him
Man, don't even
invite.
send him an invite. He about to come on. He about to come on here spitting some nonsense, and I'm gonna tear him up too.
You gonna tear who up?
Hey, give it to him. He gonna be a melted snowball when he ain't gonna be snowman no more. He gonna be a melted snowball. He come on here talking that trash.
Nobody ever is. I'm not comparing Hill to Westbrook and none of that. That's not what I'm doing. Y'all hearing what you want to hear. What I said was complimentary to the Lakers' style of play with LeBron James. LeBron James has the ball in his hand 95% of the time, every team he done been on for the most part, except in moments where he will kick out to a guy to either not to make or break that particular shot, whatever the case may be. In those situations, Buddy Hield would have been a better complementary player to what the Lakers do with the LeBron James than would be Westbrook. Right. Westbrook has one speed only for 4 quarters. He don't know how to turn it down. He don't know when to go to 5. He don't know when to go to 6. He don't know when to come back down to 4. He don't know none of that. And I'm not knocking his game because I like Westbrook for the fact that if you buy a ticket, he gonna be there. You're gonna see him play that night. He ain't gonna come off with this low management. So I respect that. But Westbrook's style of play was not complimentary or conducive to what the Lakers like to do with a LeBron James. That's why Frank Vogel is gone. That's why LeBron wants Kyrie now. And that's why LeBron is threatening to be up out of there if he don't get Kyrie. But here's what I'm saying to you. Whatever Westbrook is right now and the reasons why folks want him out of there, those things were still in play before he ever got there. That's all I'm saying. You shouldn't have never got him in the first place. Period.
No, that's not fair to him.
That is fair to him.
No, but Jay, what are you saying here? What are you saying?
That I personally believe that what you're asking, what they're searching for, is 2 things. One is because when you look historically at what's worked, right? Every ball dominant point guard that has played with LeBron has never been effective. Oh no. Where'd he go?
Oh, here you go. I don't know where Brother Rich went. Where'd Brother Rich go? Whoever got music in the background, I need you to turn that off, please, because we've been getting flagged.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. Hopefully we get Brother Rich back. Go ahead, Snowman. Here you go. Sorry.
Wait. I know what I did wrong. Stand by. Okay, there we go. I got too many windows open at once. I'm sorry.
That's all good. All right, man.
Okay. So Mr. Detroit Land threatens to turn me into a melted snowball because of my basketball knowledge. First of all, Mr. Detroit Land, I have more respect for the bad boy Detroit Pistons than I have for LeBron James and Russell Westbrook and Kyrie Irving.
Well,
that's point 1. Point 2, Bill Laimbeer shoots almost 10% percentage points higher in what's the year I'm looking at? 1989 than LeBron has done over 20 years.
Uh-oh.
Third of all, I'm not done. Third of all,
that's
Norm
bad.
Nixon out of Duquesne University, because someone asked me that trivia question and for a point I didn't know. Norm Nixon out of Duquesne University kind of wound up being the problem the Lakers had that set them on their way to their dynasty run.
Exactly what I just told.
Well, because you had 2 ball dominant point guards. Right. Because when Nixon was there from 80 to 82, listen, Mr. Detroit Land, here's your education. When Nixon was there from 80 to 82, who handled the ball? Norm Nixon did.
Right.
The only time that Nixon did not handle the ball was 1980, and that was, of course, Never Fear, Magic's Here,
right.
Rookie Finals MVP, Finals MVP as a rookie. I beg your pardon. Look, wife just brought me dinner, so I'm kind of clouded on my brain right now.
It's all good.
Well, wait a minute. You mean the MVP for the finals that was supposed to go to Kareem, but then David Stern conveniently gave it to him since Kareem was not home?
Well,
or was not at the arena?
Well,
that one?
Yeah, that one. when a migraine hit,
Well,
when
I
a
mean, it
migraine
ain't-
hits you, it hits you.
But it ain't like Magic didn't put up an MVP worthy performance.
42 points, 15
he played center.
7 assists.
I mean, so I can understand why.
And the crazy part is that was Kareem's Finals MVP in 1980, but then Magic put on that performance
in Game
and he
7.
did it at the Spectrum in Philadelphia.
Sorry, yeah.
Game 6. Game 6. He did it at the Spectrum in Philadelphia.
Yeah, but see,
had it been at the Forum in Game 7, then Kareem probably would have gotten Finals MVP. But when you walk up to Paul Westhead as a brash 20-year-old rookie and say, "Never fear, Magic's here," and you go out and put on that kind of performance,
absolutely, I'm not. I'm not mad that Magic got it.
Right.
But Snowman, the thing that we are going back and forth with is we have a thread, a text thread. Okay. All of us are in. Me, Brother Rich, Double J, TJ, Doc.
And I never got a chance to say good evening to all of you gentlemen. Good evening to all. Thanks for having me.
Good. Appreciate it. But the thing is, LeBron, we started off talking about Bron and how he's talking about if they don't get Kyrie, he wants out. And somebody in the thread, I'm not gonna mention no names, somebody in the thread said Westbrook got to leave because of his mindset. And I'm like, wait a minute. Stop trying to blame everybody else for the shortcomings or when it don't work out, so to speak. Whatever goes on in Lakerland or whatever team LeBron is on, when it don't go right, it's everybody else's fault.
That's not the same thing. I said Westbrook got to go. And he do got to go. He's a piece that's not fitting in.
I will put a stop to this, and this is especially for Mr. Detroit Land,
who's wearing a shirt that got to go. He don't work out.
Who's wearing a shirt that says Cleveland against the world. That should tell you everything you need to know right there in that shirt.
Yeah,
wow.
I rep my set. That's what it tells you.
I understand. I
rep my set. That's what it tells you. The land on deck, baby.
Okay,
yeah.
Gotcha.
The factory of sadness that we call Cleveland Stadium, the new Cleveland Stadium. I beg it. What's it now? First Energy Stadium?
I have no idea. Right? They're getting ready to rename it. They're getting ready to rename it again.
Well, they came under fire for what was it? Tax evasion? What did they do?
Oh wow!
I have no idea.
Oh whoa! Okay.
Yeah,
this is
supposedly
Enron Field all over again.
Yeah, who you telling?
Because Enron Field went through the same thing down in Houston.
Oh,
yeah. Anyway,
yeah, and then there was never mind. Yeah,
I'll put it in the form of. I will put it in the form of a question. I will put it in the form of a question.
Hold on, Snowman. Hold that thought. What'd you say, Brother Rich?
First, Energy's in trouble.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that. Yeah, yeah.
I may have to hit this tomorrow. I may have to hit this tomorrow on my morning show as a surprise subject. But I put it in the form of a question. How come when things go left, LeBron doesn't get blamed?
That's what.
Come on. He's been getting blamed. Y'all act like y'all haven't been watching the media. Bro.
No, he hasn't.
He's been yes,
man,
he has.
Not in the way that he should.
Everybody know he plays GM. Everybody keeps blaming him.
I don't want to keep calling you Mr. Detroit Land. I want to address you correctly. What is your first name, sir?
Mr. Detroit Land. My first name is officially Mr. and the last name is Detroit Land.
Okay. Anyway, go ahead, Snowman. This is the shenanigans I deal with on a regular basis.
You realize this means war.
Yeah, on this guy, with this guy right here.
I like war.
Not with me, you don't.
Especially you. I told you you're gonna be a snowball in a minute.
I am 6'5" and 245 pounds of solid mass, my man. This snow don't melt.
Tell him again.
I could be in Chavez Ravine for the All-Star game, and it gets hot. I was in St. Louis on Saturday, and it was 105 degrees, and I didn't melt. Yeah. I got tired.
Oh, by the way, since you mentioned Chavez Ravine, I think it should be noted that the Dodgers are the first team to win 60 games in Major League Baseball this year, and headed into the All-Star game with.
I knew that was coming. I got the draft on right here.
I'll tear up B. Rich and the Dodgers later because I haven't had a chance to pick on him yet. So
yeah,
but
go ahead.
As far as how do we say it on the morning show, Mr. Detroit Land? As far as Yo Kang goes, and he ain't much of a king, he never gets blamed for the shortcomings of whatever team he's on. They got blasted in Miami in 2011 in 6 games, and they got an assist in the Eastern Conference Finals, and that's my conspiracy theory for later this week. They got blasted by Kawhi Leonard and the San Antonio Spurs, who won that series with their eyes closed, playing the most beautiful brand of basketball you've ever seen. And now you got this bubble championship that you guys have been leaning on since you won the doggone thing.
Oh my God! How you?
I'm going there.
Hold on. So you talk about the L's. What about the wins? What about the 2016?
Would you let me finish?
If
you would let me finish, kind sir? If you would let me finish, kind sir.
You skipping stuff though. This.
Oh, I haven't skipped a thing. Because when I'm telling you, the L's are a matter of fact, not fiction, but fact.
So what are the?
You want to talk about you want to talk about the wins? We got to talk about the L's too. Did they win in 2000? Did LeBron win in 2016? Yeah, but to borrow from Stephen A. Smith, they got one hell of a stimulus package.
I heard that before too.
They got one heck of a stimulus package.
Please enlighten me on that. What package did he receive?
Okay, it goes like this. LeBron opened his mouth and nearly inserted his foot when he went crying to Adam Silver after Game 4, after Cleveland got wiped out at the Q. I'm trying to remember, 108-97 in Game 4 of the 2016 NBA World Championship Series. Now, the only reason that he had a chance to say, Cleveland, this is for you, is because Draymond Green got wiped out and suspended for Game 5. Had he played Game 5, it was a 5-game conquest. Now, I will give.
Now, if this was like back in the day when Jordan had his little 5-game series and it was over.
If you allow me to finish, please.
No, because it was a Game 6 and it was a Game 7.
But the 5-game series was far more challenging.
Yeah, right.
What you mean?
It was a Game 6 and a Game 7.
That's the only time LeBron ever knew a game. No. That's not the only time he never knew a Game 6 and Game 7. That will be factually incorrect because he played Game 7 in the East Finals. He knows about Game 7 in the World Championship Series because he did that in 2013 when he hit a 20-foot jumper to extend a 2-point lead to a 4-point lead. That championship I will give him. I watched it. I saw it. He did come through for Miami. And for Mr. Detroit Land, who is so in love with LeBron James, that was the best we've seen of him in Miami. Meanwhile,
that was the peak of his greatness in Miami. He got robbed out of a defensive player of the year.
Except for two. LeBron's never won defensive player of the year.
I said he got robbed.
No, he didn't.
Who robbed him?
Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard.
Gasol robbed him. And you know how? And I know how it's fact because that year Gasol was second team all defense and LeBron was first team all defense. So how can you give it to a second team all defense player? Please tell me that.
The same way they gave Steve Nash to a Kobe's MVP.
Excuse me 1 minute, please.
Please, bro, Rick.
See, I'm the wrong person because I've said check the tape again on this P program. I say all the time that those awards are personality driven. The league determined. We just sat here and talked about how
their regular season awards.
Well, wait a minute.
We know this. Everybody knew that Steve Nash 2 MVPs. Those are Kobe's MVPs. The league couldn't give it to him.
I agree.
Well, wait a minute. But why? The same. This isn't like the example I gave before.
Huh?
No,
with because Magic versus Kareem.
But it is very much like that in this wise. Whenever we're dealing with awards, they, for the most part, they're pretty much subjective to what the league wants or who they want out there. For instance, Allen Iverson would never win quote unquote awards, except that when he was so clearly the best player. But even then, David Stern begrudgingly dealt with Allen Iverson, never used him for anything.
That I will agree with.
The face of the league.
That point right there.
Because the league did not like that imagery, so they didn't promote that imagery. Michael Jordan kept an imagery that the league could then promote and use and support. Remember, this is the genius of Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. The marketing of the NBA became the thing now. So it's who we promote, remember, this is part of them promoting Giannis as an overseas European player, and then spreading that market wider, then the African players. So all of those things are awards that they then put in place, and we begin to no, this is a fact. We begin to understand that there's some politics, not that the best player doesn't win MVP, because they can't go just against everything. But some of these other awards, who makes a defensive player of the year roster, who makes
and for that, I owe Mr. Detroit Man an apology, because it was indeed Marc Gasol who won the 2012-2013 Defensive Player of the Year. I owe you an apology for that, sir.
Yeah,
I owe you an apology.
But at the end of the day, though, to your point, Brother Rich, we've been saying that in the shop for years. It's a popularity. It's a popularity type of deal.
And that's all it is.
It's promotional in a lot of cases. And to your point again, it's not like they don't sprinkle in some actualities every now and again. You know what I'm saying? To throw you off or to keep things on balance or whatever the case may be. But if you widen the lens when it comes to them type of deals, that's why I don't place no stock in them. I don't place much stock in them. You know what I mean?
Remember, it's on this program. We dissected on this program once the fact that what took Terrell Owens, is it Terrell Owens we were talking about?
I believe so.
To get into the Hall of Fame. Which one did they just begrudgingly put in, where all of them were talking so
Terrell Owens.
Terrell Owens.
Yeah.
Look how long the NFL took to vote him into their own Hall of Fame. They were looking silly with that. Barry Bonds, we talked about that. Why is Barry Bonds not in the Hall of Fame?
And for that matter, why is Pete Rose not in the Hall of Fame?
Why is Pete Rose again? Why is he not in the Hall of Fame? We could take him out.
And why is not Roger Clemens the owner of 7 Cy Young Award winners?
Yeah,
not in the Hall of Fame.
You can't get in.
And a lot of for that matter, I'll give a football name, which I'm going to talk about this week. And Barbershop Jay, I'm going to make you smile really big. Why is Roger Craig not in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, we talked about
no. There's a lot of reasons as to why.
We talked about that last week.
Keep out of this.
We talked about that last week. We did. I believe it was last week. Yeah, because listen,
I think it was.
Listen, not only him, but and I know we going off top. We got to get to our Hoop Central and then our Gridiron stuff, to tell you the truth, guys. Okay. But Sterling Sharp. No, why he not in the Hall of Fame?
Number 84 should be in the Hall of Fame. His brother. I said number 84, Sterling Sharp should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I was looking at Double J's reaction to Sterling. You don't think Sterling Sharp should be in the Hall of Fame?
He was incredible, but the injury.
But
you can say the same thing about Terrell Davis. You can say the same thing about Bo Jackson. You can say the same thing about a bunch of players whose careers were cut short by an injury.
So Snowman, how much is that fumble is why Roger Craig is not in there?
Oh, I already know that. That's why he's on the senior ballot now, and I'm waiting for that announcement to come out in January.
London.
But here's what I'm saying: how many players at the running back position did he play?
No, I'm kidding.
No, don't. Oh, no.
I'm
how many
kidding.
players at his position had
1,000-yard
rushing and 1,000-yard receiving season
in the same season?
Mm-hmm.
That
a lot of players.
Hall of Fame by
I'm not, but
so wait a minute.
No. I'm just mentioning that. What I'm saying is,
Buddy Hield hits the shot. Is Buddy Hield a Hall of Famer now because he got a ring with LeBron?
Well, if Danny Ferry going in the Hall of Fame, if Danny Ferry got a ring too, he going in the Hall of Fame too, I guess at some point. So yeah, man, come on now. What I'm saying is Roger Craig, the 1,000 yards in the same season or whatnot.
He was a victim of circumstance.
Yeah, a lot of other players would have been something most talked about when it comes to their induction, far beyond their years. Come on, man. He did something that was unprecedented, man. Come on, man.
I'm always gonna play devil's advocate.
Man,
yeah,
that ball was in his hands and prevented them from being an elite company, which that group deserved.
Hold on, one at a time. Okay. I listen. If you're gonna penalize him for a fumble, really,
January 13th,
for a fumble, have been enshrined in gold, not bronze.
Okay, well then, guess what? Then put yourself on the same group of writers who didn't vote Terrell Owens in, then, because it's personal.
And several times with Terrell Owens.
Yeah, more than several times.
Several times with Terrell Owens.
Come on, man.
Come on. He stepped on. He threw popcorn in your kettle and then stepped on your star barbershop.
I'm saying if a guy is eligible to get in, let a guy in who's eligible to get in if he has more than enough credits, and for you to be voting on you should be voting on for him based on what he's supposed to be in on, if that made any sense.
And that initial thousand season by Roger Craig should be the only, which should be not the only, but the main credential that gets him in the Hall of Fame. He's on the senior list this year. And Double J, to your point, they basically have kept him out because of a fumble on January 13th, 1991 at Candlestick Park. That's the biggest reason they've kept him out. And that was the fumble against the New York Giants when the 49ers were basically on their way to Super Bowl 25. But be that as it may, if you can I put this in a promo, if you can celebrate Marshall Faulk with a 1,000 season with a Hall of Fame election, if you can celebrate Christian McCaffrey.
So is he a Hall of Famer then?
Who we talking about?
McCaffrey.
No, not a chance.
Why?
Injuries.
Why would he?
Injuries.
Well, he's done the same thing that Roger Craig did. That as
Well,
far as
same-
individual,
he got the
individual accolade, individual performance.
Okay, but does he have the same acumen to go along with the other individual accolade that Roger Craig does?
Naturally, that's to be determined.
Okay.
He may end up on a roster and play a nominal part.
Let's be real here.
Nobody's suggesting that a guy should get in just based off of that, but I am suggesting that a guy should not be in just based off a fumble.
Marshall Faulk was great before the Greatest Show on Turf.
You're avoiding.
Thank you. Do you want me to repeat that? Exactly. I'm not saying that a guy should be in just based off that single accolade, but he should not get in based off that single moment.
I gotta look
when
at
when he check off all the other boxes.
And I determine if he should be in. That's
okay.
fine.
Well then you got a keyboard, right? You got a
Mr. Detroit land. You're not the main determining factor. Number one.
I am the last determining factor.
You're wearing a Cleveland shirt, for God's sake. That should tell you everything right there.
Yeah, you got a keyboard right there. Go ahead while we getting ready to get to our Hoop Central. Go ahead and look it up. The NBA Competition Committee has drafted a proposal that will change the handling of the transition. Of the transition take foul. The change would give the team on offense one free throw and possession of the ball if the team on defense commits a take foul. The team on offense will also be allowed to choose which player shoots the free throw, similar to what the G League does. Previously, the team on offense was just given the ball out of bounds when a take foul was committed. Another rule change in play is the bench decorum, a topic of discussion after the Mavericks playoff run this past season when they were hit with several fines. Brother Rich, you want to start us off? What do you make of this new competition committee drafting proposal rules, so on and so forth?
Well, I like the in-game rule. I like that. I think that's necessary because it was too easy to stop the game in the backcourt and just take a foul like that without really making a serious basketball play.
So you think that's a good change?
But I'm questioning now this bench decorum rule because whenever the league gets into the practice, especially with the way the NBA is now, with the way these crowds have been treating these players, what are they asking the players to withstand? Is this about how the players behave towards one another, towards the crowd? Is it towards the other team? So that's what I'm wondering. What is this rule intended to correct? What behavior is this trying to correct? And so if the NBA is going to address bench behavior or player decorum on the bench and not address fan behavior in a serious way, that's a non-starter for me. But if it's something to do with heckling or something in terms of the other team and things that could potentially spark some kind of problem, I can understand that.
You know what? And here's the thing. If you go back and look at the Mavericks playoff run this past season, what they're talking about as far as bench decorum, the players weren't doing much of nothing really, but just standing up. You know what I mean? I don't. Why would that be something that you want to address when I don't see the interaction that the players were committing? Right. That's petty. That's tacky to me. That's just something you just wanting to show that you in control, so to speak. But I'm with you too on that, Brother Rich. They need to be addressing this fan issue as well. Double J, what say you? You okay with the new the take foul rule? Did we change?
Specifically, yeah. Well, for a few reasons, right? You know, you talked about pace, tempo, somewhat speeding the game up. certainly to stop the game in transition like that would generally yield a potentially a Sports Center top 10 play, right? By a fascinating type of dunk, or just in general, something that would be inspiring for the fans. And so being able to not just, because it really is a buzzkill when you see that foul committed, being at a bunch of those, you're just like, you kind of, it's a gut punch, because again, circumstantially, that could be the difference of a tie game to, again, getting control of the lead, or closing a game out even. So being able to then not only just go to the line, but then choose who actually takes the shot is enormous value as well. But the second part, look, we're coming off a pandemic where something that would stick out to me was the energy of particular teams' benches. Everything from, especially at the collegiate level, songs were being, chanted by the team itself on the bench that would naturally inspire those that were playing. So to somewhat kind of put a lid on that, because again, to the NBA, I felt like the NBA kind of fed off of that a little bit, and you did see more energy coming from the benches, because again, simply put, otherwise there's nobody there to celebrate, what your performance, what's actually taking place, which does otherwise feel weird. I don't care that it bothers the other team. I don't care that, for me personally, I want to see someone. Look, I'm coming off of spending a ton of money with a franchise that I would look over to the bench and Megan would say to me, Blake's not even here. Andre's not even here. And, getting $25 and $28 million respectively each. To say that not only are these guys, they may or may not even show up depending on how much they care and the autonomy that they have. But if they are present, we're going to control how, involved and excited and animated they want to be on the bench. That's entertainment. That's counterproductive to what the league is actually trying to do. And I hate to say it, I feel like that leads to conspiracy questions, because, oh no, you just threw off his shot. Well, why does that bother you, Commissioner?
Yeah. I mean, think about it. The game is emotion based, especially if you're a home game, a home team, and you're in the playoffs or whatever the case may be, and it's a game 7 or game 6, whatever, your bench and your crowd, everybody's in it, you're asking guys to basically be mum during them moments that where a guy hit a big shot, sort of like what, I'm not a fan of his, but I'm in his college actually. But when Christian Laettner hit that shot against Mashburn in Kentucky back then, you telling the bench, don't nobody get up, don't everybody need to sit down and not react. How you gonna not react?
Yeah, the clock went dead.
Could you imagine?
How you gonna not react to that?
Some of history's most greatest moments in sports. The Cal band on the field. Jim Valvano.
Yeah.
You're telling me that those, by rule.
See, Double J, why'd you have to go back in the day with me with Jim Valvano in Albuquerque, New Mexico at the pit in his celebration? One of the greatest. One of the greatest.
Look what I told you. He literally a snowboard now. I told you that's what I was gonna do to him.
Oh man, cut it out. Go ahead, TJ. Go ahead. About to say, what are your thoughts?
Oh, he's back. Okay.
Can't ban the snowman.
Can't ban the snowman.
Mr. Detroit Land, in the immortal words of my favorite cartoon character, Bugs Bunny, now he ought to know better than that.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, I don't know what that is. All I know is what's up, Doc. But hey, speaking of that, what Doc been?
Ain't no telling. I asked about him in the thread. I don't know where he been.
So was that a compounded question y'all had where y'all talking about the bench and the take file?
Yeah, so to speak. Yeah.
I wasn't really paying attention because I was looking up Roger Craig. He don't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame.
Oh,
That man got that man only got 3,000-yard seasons. Why do he deserve to be in there, bro?
We'll talk about that for another show.
I'm just saying. You told me to look it up. I looked it up.
Believe me, he
and
deserved
arguably ruined the legacy of that team.
No, he didn't arguably ruin nothing. Yeah, he
I ain't gonna go
arguably
with the fumble. I'm just talking about he got 3,000
Double
yards.
J. Now you've peeved me off with that comment. All I got
it's a real
all I got to say to you, because
we're on Hoop Central. We're on Hoop Central. I wish you wouldn't have done that, TJ. But go ahead.
I will back off. I will back off.
It's a
do you want me to read it? Do you want me to read it again?
No, I understand. So yeah, just recently with Kawhi's epic game winner to send him to the finals, and the whole bench was right there. That's iconic. Like now you saying he just right there by himself looking dumb, doing that pose.
Yeah, that's what I said too.
Then
I don't understand.
I'd like to believe that the players' union is not going to allow this.
I was just getting ready. I was just getting ready to say that, brother.
The NBA has power, but here's the thing that I think you're seeing as well. Don't overlook this. There's some concern that people like Double J season ticket holders at these major arenas. These people are shelling out tens of thousands of dollars for season tickets for themselves and their families. Some for their businesses. They're buying these suites at a couple $100,000. From $1 million at these arenas, and they're bringing their people with them. And so there's some pushback coming from the other side with players not being held, quote unquote, in check more. And so the NFL have their players under management, under control. And some of the NBA owners are desirous of that kind of control of the league again. So there has been some pushback. So I'm wondering what this plays out like in terms of the players' union. I can't see that LeBron, this is the kind of stuff they'll come tougher with once LeBron's kingdom is leaving. Once he's no longer running the NBA because he's just the most powerful figure in the NBA and they just can't do anything as he's empowered the players. But in his absence, the league may try to take back some of that, not this collective bargaining agreement, but the one after. Even though the one that's upcoming is very crucial, I think these are the kind of things that I would hope the players would not allow. Because as we all have pointed out, everybody's pointing out how many iconic moments there are in sports where it was just organically produced and all of us can remember them because of the kind of organic thing that was going on that involved the bench, involved this, involved that. So I would hope they wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I was just getting ready to say that too, Brother Rich. I think, like you said earlier, they need to be addressing the fans, and not trying to cater to them ones who can spend tens of thousands of dollars. You know what I mean? Because so you can spend tens of thousands of dollars to sit up close and personal. So that didn't give you a license to say some of the stuff that they be saying to guys because I'm up close and personal.
You'd be surprised. There's some look. I've told you, and I may have showed you in the thread, a while back. Obviously, the season's concluded for us quite some time ago. The piece of like I would say it's like a 2x3 card, index card type of thing that says, is very blunt about what is expected, what's tolerable, what's not. I personally have been warned, as long as there's no profanity, I could pretty much get away with what I want. Again, the longer you've been there, the more autonomy you have. And so and now look, I'm me, so I'm not typically hurling any kind of insults. I try to be more roundabout, things that actually make them go, But I have witnessed others, on the other hand, that certainly push the envelope, and you will see the jawing collectively back and forth. Kyle Kuzma is one that certainly, sticks out in my mind, and sometimes it inspires the performances of the other players on other teams. So I will wholeheartedly disagree that yes, don't ever cross that line. And if you do, you can absolutely get face whatever repercussions that should come with it. But
yeah,
otherwise, it's again you have to hand it back, that card back to the respective usher or security guard in your section. So basically, that's the receipt of you knowing ahead of time, hey, I've reviewed this thing. So when you get thrown out, you already know why. And we've seen it. I've even seen people just for certain flags, that weren't really egregious, at least at the time. I've seen people kicked out for less is where I'm going with that.
Snowman, what's your take? You still with us?
Snowball.
Watch your mouth.
Oh, not Captain Snowball.
Yes, please, because we still got one more. To get to here, and we're getting a little long.
First of all, Mr. Detroit Land, it's Snowman. It's Mr. Snowman to you, just like it's Mr. Jordan to you as well, in terms of Yo Kang. All right.
The Kang.
Yo Kang. Because if you want to think about it honestly, since we're talking hoops, the real king actually wore 33 in purple and gold, and that's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. If you really want to go there,
okay.
The two most indefensible shots in NBA history: a fadeaway and the skyhook. Okay, and Mr. Detroit Land, I can tell you haven't watched basketball long enough or far enough to remember some of the pioneers in this game. Matter of fact, let me throw a trivia question out there.
You're wrong. I do like pie.
He refers to them as plumbers and janitors.
Now he
hey, why you tell him that?
Yeah,
man?
come on, man.
Let me throw
before you finish, JJ Redick, you know what I'm saying? Gilbert Arenas, Tracy McGrady. They have caught them plumbers.
I'm getting echo from somebody, man. It's bad. Go ahead. What you saying, TJ?
I said JJ Redick, Tracy McGrady, and Gilbert Arenas have called them plumbers and janitors. These are NBA basketball.
But you agree with them.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you might as well say you called him one too. You're an accomplice.
So
you can't be throwing.
Look what LeBron just said about the Drew League competition. He said that was MJ's competition.
Out there. Let me throw a trivia question out there to shut Mr. Detroit Land up once and for all.
All right, let's go.
Who was the first player to win back-to-back Defensive Player of the Years in the NBA?
Back-to-back MVP. You said defensive player of the year?
No. Who was the first player to win back-to-back NBA Defensive Player of the Year awards? And I'll even throw a hint. They were the first 2 years. This guy talks more than my grandchildren. 82 and 83. And you can't look it up either because I see that keyboard in front of you.
82, 83. I'm gonna say Kareem.
Nope. I'll give you the answer. Sidney Moncrief, Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah. I knew that. Arkansas. He went to my Razorbacks.
Arkansas. Yep.
Y'all the same age. That's why you knew that.
Then,
well, regardless.
I have this question for the real basketball fans, which is the rest of us in the group. Who were the only two players to win Defensive Player of the Year 4 times?
Mutombo.
That's one.
No.
That's one.
Was it Mutombo?
Yep.
It had to be Scottie Pippen.
It
wasn't Scottie.
Nope.
Jordan probably.
Mutombo's one.
I'm still getting feedback from somebody, man.
I gave y'all half, y'all savants. Come on now.
Yeah, I can't. I'm not off the top of my head. I'd have to go look it up.
Wait a minute. Wait. What did you say? What was the question?
Who are the only 2 players to win NBA Defensive Player of the Year 4 times?
Oh, 4 times. Okay, I was thinking Mark Eaton, but that's only
that was
2.
That's what's throwing me too.
It was 1, 2.
I don't know. Give us the answer.
Shame on you, Double J. Ben Wallace.
Oh, that is really shame on me. Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
I was just with him like 3 weeks ago. Yeah, that was.
Sure, yeah,
I didn't know it was 4 times.
4 times.
Yeah,
Man,
I'm not surprised.
Over within a year, he was only 1 year off from winning it 5 times. Because the 4 times Ben Wallace won 02, 03, 05, and 06.
Oh, wow.
Shame on you, Double J.
He
and the King whooped him in 05.
Who won it in 04? That was the year they won the NBA title. So was it Kobe
that was the year they
04?
won. And
Tim Duncan probably won it.
Ron Artest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but they were the favorites. See, they were the darlings.
He was with the at the time.
Double J,
All right, Snowman, give me your thoughts on the NBA competition committee and the proposal about the transitional take.
Blow up the committee and get some new people in there.
Well,
that's my thought.
Yeah, and on that,
but
we going.
But deal with the fan. I agree with your point, Jay. Deal with the fans too. If you're going to deal with the competition committee, then you got to deal with the fans also. If you're going to start dealing with stuff and turning it around and bringing some more people to watch the game,
$28,000 a season, and not front row.
Where
as Drake says, for courtside or court floor seats, we'll call it.
Okay, no, thank you. Anytime I go to an NBA game, I'm strapped with a press pass.
Oh,
yeah,
I need to get me one of those.
Yeah, for sure.
Barbershop.
Come
on here, huh?
Right. Yeah, okay. Yeah, got you. We'll holler at Snowman. Yeah, we'll holler at Snowman and figure out how we go about getting the press passes.
Anytime I went to an NBA game in Chicago, I was strapped with a press pass.
Okay. Well, we had to holler about that. Anywho, at the end of the day, man, Westbrook don't need to go nowhere. He need to stay right there in LA, and they need to.
Why? Because he live there.
No, they need to stay right there in LA and make it work.
You would like that.
They need to stay right there and stop running. Stop blowing everything up every time because it don't work one time.
Could you trade one? Hold on. Could you trade one player that's a blow up?
Listen.
Yeah,
make it work. Make it work. Period.
Man, yeah, trade LeBron, please.
Make it work.
LeBron.
Yeah, to the Globetrotters. Anyway, we move.
So what
on.
happens? They need a.
Yeah, they need to. They need
one player.
Hey, listen. A lot of times, hey, when my Dukes, go to the cabinet, to go to the cupboard and see it ain't no steak and shrimp in the or in the refrigerator. Sometimes you got to eat them mayonnaise sandwiches. It's a mayonnaise sandwich moment. Shout out to Snowman for joining us. I don't know what happened to him. Yeah, it's a mayonnaise sandwich moment. Make it work. We on to our gridiron section, the last item on the menu for the day. And we're covering the AFC South right now. Okay. Up first, obviously, is the Texans. What is the most glaring issue surrounding the Texans, Brother Rich? You think?
They just settled a lawsuit with 30. 30 They're going in with a serious clout, and then they're added to this drama late, where they should have been involved in it from the beginning. So now information must have come out that renders them in a not so positive light. They certainly have questions on the football field. So that whole organization, if you will, is suspect for a whole host of reasons. Remember, this is the organization, the franchise, that referred to the players as prisoners at one time and talked about and comically referred to players wearing prison jumpsuits and things like that. So we have some issues over in that part of the world, on and off the field, no doubt about it.
TJ, what's the most glaring issue surrounding the Texans?
Them lawsuits that they just settled. I want to know how much they gave them, each one of them women. Now, it's reported that Deshaun Watson they were saying he only gave 100,000, right? Somewhere between 100,000, 200,000 to each
total.
victim.
Oh, to each
allegedly.
okay individual.
But then I've just recently researched that it was 1.5 to 2.5 million a piece. So that's anywhere from 33 million to 55 million dollars he had to give.
I doubt very seriously they got that kind of money. Doubt very seriously.
Yeah.
Now, 100,000 to 200,000 number sounds much more realistic. And here's why.
Now,
here's why. If somebody had the kind of stuff on you, when you got to pay off $33 million, they would have enough to charge you in court. Fact.
Yeah, I'm thinking that too.
More than enough to charge
yeah,
you.
And he wouldn't have settled. But
that's show somebody for them to pay you $1 million settlement. $1 million? Because for the PR point of it, he would just have to withstand that for maybe the rest of the year. He'll get through that. But if I'm going to pay you $50 million, $30 million, well, you got something on me.
No. The 2 Texas grand juries don't say that that you're not guilty.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I don't for a minute believe them. They got $1 million, 1.5 million. I don't believe that for a minute.
Hey, in the wise words of Kevin Garnett, anything's possible.
Anything is possible. Yeah, but
that's not probable.
That's not.
Yeah, I don't think that's probable at all. No.
So I'm thinking they got more. I just want to know what they got. I just want to be nosy. I feel like the public deserves.
Well, you got you got the keyboard right there. I mean, what you doing? Snowman, what you think, man? What's the most glaring issue surrounding the Texans?
They got away with murder. They got away with murdering Deshaun Watson's career because they're going to get away with barely a slap on the wrist if that. Deshaun Watson knew what was going on, and he wasn't going to be their franchise quarterback anymore because they were trading away pieces and they didn't want to protect him. So Deshaun Watson said, "The heck with that, let me out of here." And that's when
that's when it all broke loose. Yeah. Double J, what's the most glaring issue surrounding the Texans?
Well, I'll go a different direction with it. I'll say right away that their defense is the only one without a Pro Bowler in the AFC South.
But Lovie Smith is acting as his own defense coordinator should help with that.
How much did it help during his tenure at Illinois? No, I love Lovie, but it just didn't work well.
Okay, the Colts. Double J, we'll stay with you and we'll then go around the room the other way. After the failed Wentz experience, what should or can we expect from Matt Ryan?
Well, he is who we thought he was. If he can be any version of his past self, it should be good enough to get them to at least the playoffs. No different than Phillip Rivers. They're asking him to be exactly who he was and has been when he had people to throw to. He was always successful with the likes of Julio Jones. I mean, this goes back to Roddy White. It's been a while. So, but again, his turnovers have always been in decision making, and that's usually been led by either a poor run game, because I can't think of a notable running back since the days of T.J. Duckett, Warwick Dunn, and maybe Steven Jackson at one point in time. So, and then an O-line that's always been horrendous as well. So,
you talking about running back for the Colts?
No. I'm saying during his time with Atlanta.
For Atlanta.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, instead, he now has probably the best O-line that he's had historically throughout his career. He has the best pairing of running backs that he's had. He has a decent receiving core, but it's still a substantial upgrade from what he had in Atlanta, especially after the Calvin Ridley gambling incident. And so now you're asking for him to be a game manager, which is really dates back to his Boston College days.
Yeah. TJ, after the failed Wentz experience, what should or can we expect from Matt Ryan?
Man, Matt Ryan been terrible ever since that Super Bowl, man. Once wasn't he up 23 to
28-3. 28-3.
And it seemed like every year that is on his head, on his mind, and he never got back there. Like offense with Julio Jones.
That's a good point. Yeah.
But now wait a minute. He doesn't have to necessarily worry about that. Would you all agree that the AFC South is the worst division by the quarterback position?
I don't know them all off the top of my head, but okay, I'll
yeah, but only by that position because they the best division by running back, maybe.
Ooh.
Jonathan Taylor, and then you got that big dude down in what the Titans.
Derrick Henry.
Yeah, Derrick Henry.
Henry. Them the two best running backs based off last year. But
yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, Matt Ryan, I don't expect nothing from him. I really thought it was gonna be like the same question before, like the most glaring thing, and I was gonna say encore from Jonathan Taylor. Like that's what I want to see. I want to see his next year. What he gonna do?
Yeah, me too. Because he should have won MVP last year. Well, he was close to it. He was putting up humongous numbers last year. Yeah, Brother Rich. After the failed Wentz experience, what should or can we expect from Matt Ryan?
Nothing.
Nothing, huh? I'm with you, Brother Rich. Brother Rich, thank you for the one-word answers, Brother Rich. You know, we are pressed for time. You know, folks want to get on here and get on their big wheels and go in different directions on the program. Unbelievable. Snowman, after the failed Wentz experience, what should or can we expect from Matt Ryan?
Turn around and hand the ball to Jonathan Taylor 200 times.
Yep.
I don't know, man. Nowadays in the NFL, handing the guy, well, unless you Derrick Henry, giving the guy 200-something odd carries just don't seem the thing to do nowadays.
Okay, hungry Henry, absolutely.
Okay, 400. So what?
Okay.
Turn around.
Whoa,
not in 18. Not in 18
No, don't
games.
say 400. Y'all acting like he Baker
not in 18
Mayfield or
games.
something.
Oh, wow.
Baker Mayfield.
We just know where the strength is with the Colts, and it's with the running game. They got the nastiest offensive line in the AFC, one of the nastiest offensive lines in the NFL. Why wouldn't you want to feed him?
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, wait a minute. But shouldn't that open things up for
Did you hear what I just said?
Michael Pittman Jr. had a great year.
Did you hear what I just said? You got the nastiest offensive line in the AFC, one of the nastiest in the NFL. Turn around and give him the ball 300 times. Let him eat.
Yeah, but you're gonna have to put the ball in the air. The NFL is designed nowadays that you got to put the ball in the air. That's the one thing.
If he come to Cleveland this year, we got something for him.
No, you don't.
Oh yeah, we do.
Now speaking of Baker Mayfield,
yes, we do.
No, we're not talking about Baker Mayfield. No, we're getting ready to talk about the
Freddie
Jaguars.
Kitchens had he tried to dodge it, but he said, you talk about predictively or preemptively from a qualifying or quantitative standpoint, and that from a quarterbacking, from a positional element, that he blamed the because if you look at Baker's first couple of years, right, they had the most touchdowns, and he was improving year over year until, of course, the disaster, where basically he said that injury specifically, even though it was on the opposite arm, that has everything to do with direction and velocity, and basically that's why.
All that.
Yeah. So he actually expects big things from Baker, and truthfully, I'll save it for when we actually go through the NFC South, but it could be a fantasy fiesta, if you will.
Yeah. That's why we can talk about the Jaguars. Snowman, starting with you, and then we'll go back around the room the other way. Will this be the season Mr. Trevor puts up Clemson-like numbers in the NFL?
Are you familiar with Bishop Bullwinkle?
No, not by name.
Then I will answer this in edited form. No. Okay.
Brother Rich, will this be the season that Trevor puts up them Clemson-like numbers?
My answer won't be as colorful. Just simply it's going to be absolutely not.
Okay, got you. TJ, will this be the season Mr. Trevor puts up them Clemson-like numbers in the NFL in the not for long?
I got a question for you. Did they fix their line?
Yeah, apparently they did.
They did sign Christian Kirk, though, right?
Yep.
Who's Christian?
From my understanding, yep, they did.
I mean, I hope he, because this year
right.
3.
Yeah, folks are. Yeah, folks are. They expecting him to be like Justin Herbert, so to speak.
All right.
On this year note, 3, so
in this note, I'm gonna scram. I'm gonna say thank you guys. TJ,
it's all good. Yep.
Double J, thank you. Be Rich, Barbershop J, thank all you guys. I hope to catch you next time. Thank you.
All right, man. Have a good one. Yep. What'd you say, TJ?
Yeah, year 3, man. This the year so we give most quarterbacks 2 years. I think you should give most quarterbacks 2 years. Year 3 and 4, it's proven time, So
I'll say this too.
I don't know.
Doug Peterson over Urban Meyer has to be a coaching upgrade. Has to be the coaching upgrade of the decade.
That the Peterson from the Eagles?
From the Eagles, yeah.
Oh yeah, well yeah, that's definitely an upgrade.
That's an upgrade of the decade.
Right.
Yeah, you see what I'm trying to tell you. And then
Urban
last but not, yeah, he should have. Yeah, he.
Now wait a minute. So look, I'll say this. As you pointed out, Barbershop, they're led by, of course, a Super Bowl winning coach now. And here's the thing: you got guys like Davis Mills, who actually I don't know why, but he didn't look that bad in person. But he really should have been awful. I look, from a fantasy standpoint, I'm thinking if he only improves minimally, we're talking about 4,500 combined yards, and he'll be around the league average in touchdowns. So that would be, you're talking about potentially a top 12 overall in the league. So he could have a big breakout year. As TJ pointed out, year 3 is a very big deal as it pertains to rookie quarterbacks in the NFL.
Okay, so in a quarterback-driven league, and with the emphasis on a quarterback being taken in the top 10 in NFL drafts every year since before I was born, probably, are we trying to say then now that he don't have enough around him for him to put up big numbers? Is that what we're saying? Is that what you're suggesting? Because I'll go back 125 shows that we've done, and matter of fact, we don't even have enough time. Yeah, is that what we're saying? A quarterback is only as good as the talent around him?
Not necessarily. I mean, you could, because here's the thing. Look what Matt Stafford did, right?
So then he should have a big year.
But
that wasn't the case.
This is young quarterback. It ain't like he was in the league 5-6 years. This is a very young quarterback. Even with the Bengals, he had Chase, what's his name?
Jamar Chase, yeah.
Jamar Chase, yeah. So
yeah,
We're his one guy. We're his 1A or receiver 1A. Who is this?
Who's Justin Herbert's 1A? Mr.
What do you mean?
Herbert got some dogs over there.
Yeah, he's got one of the best receiving course. We went through this a week ago.
Okay, so wait. So in other, see, I'm doing this on purpose. So in other words, is the talent surrounding the quarterback that makes the quarterback, or is it the quarterback that makes the talent?
We're talking about a young quarterback.
Look at Baker Mayfield.
So that's what I'm asking you. Oh, so then Trevor Lawrence is not going. So if he don't have the talent around him, then he's not going.
We're not going to know what he can potentially be if he don't get a decent offense around him.
Well, remember too, especially as a young quarterback, you don't have the autonomy like Aaron Rodgers does, where he can totally say "F your play call," and I'm going to call what I want.
Yep.
Okay,
you don't think Doug Peterson? You don't think if Doug Peterson can win?
No. I'm saying historically. Like with Urban, I mean, you're talking about a guy that unfortunately, just again, historically in the NFL, that was probably one of the worst coaching tenures that has ever happened.
Okay. All right. So
that's the rare air.
So he won't put up big numbers then this year.
No, I'm saying he will, but it's not entirely due to. This is where Bro Rich, hang on to your hats. Coaching matters.
Oh, okay. So it's not the talent around him then.
That naturally will play a part. And because remember, it is a team sport here. There's 53 people on that roster. The quarterback certainly is a large part of that. But look, he can't catch the ball too, Barbershop. He can't throw it to himself here.
Do they got any Pro Bowlers on offense with him?
I don't know.
But anyway, getting Travis Etienne back, and hopefully he remains healthy. Christian Kirk, as TJ pointed out, Evan Ingram versus I don't know who. Marvin Jones may still be there, may not. I don't know. They had nothing, man.
Yeah,
they had nothing.
Jimmy Smith and Keenan McCardle, they're not walking through that door. And last but not least, the Titans. Brother Rich, will this be Tannehill's last season?
It should be.
And is the Browns at Texans a must-see matchup?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
A lot of storyline.
Whoa. What's the bigger matchup? Browns and Panthers?
No, Browns at Texans, obviously. Go ahead, Brother Rich. Go ahead and finish what you were saying.
Yes, because here's what now. Here's why. These two cities and these two franchises are in the spotlight in a way where you have people from all walks of life that are hoping for them to fail. Women are now poised to boycott and petition and protest in front of some of these arenas. This is going to be an ongoing spectacle. And then you have the fact that Deshaun, knowing what Snowman was talking to us about earlier, that there was some underlying things that precipitated them opening these cases against him and them helping to facilitate some of these charges against him. Remember now, this is why the Texans are in trouble with this, because they, as you pointed out to us some time ago, Double J, when they first began to come out, that they helped facilitate some of these relationships, whether or not they were booking the appointments, but they knew this, so the women then could turn around and sue them. So it's going to be very interesting to watch how that plays out. And so certainly I see more of that, there being more to that because of the current dynamics of what's going on, as opposed to them when they play against Baker. No.
Yeah, Baker is a big story.
Let me say this. As for Tannehill, absolutely, this should be his last year, because how many chances do these kind of coaches get to do nothing with opportunities while other coaches are going around the league not even getting the first chance?
Yeah, how many Super Bowls would the Titans have possibly been in had they had Deshaun Watson?
Facts.
And Derrick Henry?
Facts.
Because they was on the doorstep a couple times. I'm just saying.
Right.
But Watson ain't good enough. Anyway, Baker is a big story, but not big enough to last throughout the season, like this whole Texans and Browns deal will. Double J, will this be Tannehill's last season? And obviously, is Browns at Texans a must matchup?
I personally think for the very same reasons I'm going to answer the latter part first. The very same reasons you brought up about why Browns and Texans would actually be applicable to Browns and Panthers, because that's why Baker Mayfield's not here and had to sit here through all of it until it was at its finale or conclusion, if you will. And he had to try to ho-hum through it as best as he could. And as again, people are interviewing Freddie Kitchens on NFL, radio to get his thoughts on Baker specifically, in trying to get him to talk about, again, the former team. And for those that don't know, Freddie Kitchens is with, he's I believe in like some analytics role with South Carolina University football.
Where he always should have been.
Nevertheless, now, but he achieved success with Baker, and that's the difference. That's what makes him a little bit more unique, that he was actually in that inner circle and seen the dynamic between front office, et cetera, and certainly played a role with it.
He didn't deserve that head coach's job over Greg Williams.
No, he didn't. No,
I'm not going to argue that.
That defense was taking the ball away at a high clip, and we didn't even have all them notable players.
They really should have went to Todd Haley, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, right.
How is that?
Why not? Why not? Anyway, at the end of the day, Baker, the whole Baker and Panthers, it would be a big deal leading up to and maybe for a few minutes after the fact. but it's not going to be as big a deal as Browns at Texas.
They are going to be, here's why. That stat line goes from the time.
You got to live here to know what I'm talking about, buddy.
No, I'm telling you, dude, that here's the thing. You're talking about the front office. No one on that field has anything to do with Deshaun Watson on the Houston side.
But it's going to be at Texas?
Browns at Texans.
Now, here's the thing.
Hey, if he on our roster,
fan base?
That's what listen.
If he on our roster, Double J, it's a big deal.
Listen, and even if he's not on the roster, TJ, did you hear what Brother Rich said? There are women's movements. Women's groups.
They're going to be protesting, but the NFL does a good job of hiding that.
This thing is basically, I'm being a little somewhat cynical here, like worldwide, so to speak.
But look who they're going to be going after. That's the part that bothers me about this. And this is why I'm suggesting that Baker's a bigger deal, because what it does is say despite all of those things, it is me versus you. And it is stat line to stat line from the moment that ball's kicked off to the moment that game hits double zeros. During that Texans game, that television camera is going to barely pan to anyone out of fear. And that even if somebody from respective group runs onto the field, I mean, you could be needing additional security for Watson. There's so many different elements in there that are.
Do you hear what you're saying? You're going to need security for Watson.
Who's going to need security to the game itself? And the NFL does what? They protect the shield. They're not going to talk about that.
Listen, man. Okay, they already look what they're doing now.
The NFL is not. They're going to try to suspend him.
But Double J, the NFL is not. But guess who is going to? ESPN is going to make a story of that. Some of these women and
of course the news will.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the NFL per se.
The NFL is on the game day. Of course, they're going to have you focused on what's happening on the field, and the fan experience is going to be focused on what's happening on the field. The media circus surrounding them is
that's a bet. I should have said it that way.
Yeah, you got to reframe
hotel they're staying at. What who feels like this is wrong? Remember, somebody's been sending the thread these articles where people are talking about this is the worst move in the history of football.
Thank you. That's what I'm trying to say.
This is the kind of narrative you have people actually speaking into this. Like this man has been convicted in some court of law we all weren't privy to.
That's what I'm
we're
saying.
talking about the circus surrounding the game on the field. The game, yes, you're absolutely correct. Mano y mano, Baker gets to get up and play quarterback for his team. Deshaun gets to play for his team, and they are going against absolute fact.
Yeah, slugfest.
That's in the moment that the game is going on. But the game itself will only be a 2-hour spectacle in the whole vast array of stuff that will go on. Remember, an NFL game is a once-a-week event. So the media apparatus has a time to build up their stories and build up their narratives until we actually get to the television coming on and say, it's game day. And then that narrative that they built up goes away, but we're all still aware of it that, oh man, some people are going to say, I'm not watching that because that guy I think he's so and so and so and so.
NFL is going to want us to fail. I'm guaranteeing this. They don't want us to get no primetime playoff games or none of that if that man going to be on the field, bro.
Hey, listen. And the Browns at the Panthers is what, week 1?
So here's what my point with this. If Deshaun is suspended and it's Browns at Panthers week 1, you don't think that was intentional?
Listen, it may have been. Okay, but I'm talking about the fanfare in totality leading up to the game 1. It's going to be discussed. Yes, Browns at Panthers. And it's going to dissipate quickly thereafter. This thing with the Browns at the Texans is more than just a game, is what I'm trying to tell you.
Especially considering he more than likely will not be suspended, either not for a very long time, if at all. And this is why they're taking so long to give you the results of the quote-unquote investigation, because they don't have anything to suspend him on. And so the league is stuck in a catch-22. They can't really suspend them without addressing some other glaring problems that they have. But they may get away with, let's say they get away with 1 or 2 games. that just adds to the drama even more. That this is a guy who's been suspended, and why didn't he get more of a punishment? Because if you're saying he should be suspended, you're saying he's done something wrong. So if he's done something wrong, we're somehow admitting that he's really guilty of something. We're not sure what, but he's guilty of something. And so all of that is adding to the drama of whether or not he shows up and plays, or the fact that those teams are competing against each other. And if he shows up to play in Texas, I guarantee it's going to be an ugly story that whole weekend.
He said it's going to be an ugly story.
I just
listen. And I should have threw this in here. They play at the Texans. Well, I just saw it. Oh, December 4th.
That's near the end of the season.
You're going to be hearing about that up until December the 4th. You understand what I'm trying to tell you?
I think it's at a boiling point week 1, because every reason why Baker Mayfield is out of town has to do with Deshaun Watson and what he did. And there's a potential that the Browns are 0-1 because he's not there, which would take away a lot of the steam, to your point, which I would totally
support. The Browns are not going to be 0-1. They're not about to be 0-1 to the Panthers. Come on. Is that what you're saying?
I am. Potential? I am. And then that would serve your narrative.
No,
even
they're
more,
not going to be.
Even
they're
more.
Not gonna,
because
no,
why they got rid of him, and look at he burned him. And look what they got rid of him for. And he would probably, of course, be him, Baker.
I don't care if Jacoby Brissett plays. They're not losing to the Panthers.
I don't know.
They're not losing to the
game one. We've been losing game 1 for 30 years. So,
and that should definitely change.
These are not your Grandpappy's Browns. Stop comparing them to all that.
If Watson, listen, I agree, but only if Watson play. Only if Watson play.
These not your Grandpappy's Browns.
Man, please, you still got Chubb, you still got Hunt.
Hey, listen, Jacoby Brissett fits in with the rest of them bum quarterbacks we done had for 30 years, bro.
Listen,
he's not your Grandpappy.
Davis Mills.
Deshaun Watson is going to be on the field.
You're telling me they're going to be excited to talk about Davis Mills versus Deshaun Watson?
I don't care who they talking about. I'm telling you, this Deshaun Watson
that game
at
could
the
be
Texans,
68
that's
to
going to be a big story. It's already listen. If you look at all of the fanfare that both stories are getting, compare what both stories are getting now. It's only going to increase tenfold.
He's got to be there closer to the
okay.
He's got to be there week 1 because that is his arch nemesis now.
Listen, he ain't there. Listen, is he there week 1? Is it week 1 yet? I guarantee you. I guarantee you. Your numbers guy. Click or Google how many times Deshaun Watson, Browns, and all of that has been talked about.
I like this.
Yeah, versus
I want to see. We'll keep an eye on that. What those numbers are in terms of
what the numbers
ratings.
are.
I'm glad you brought that up because here's why. Going into the past 6 months, Nielsen ratings, the NFL had 15 of the top 25 most viewed. College basketball had 2, one of which was the Duke North Carolina rematch, and that was post 20. The NBA only had 1, which was in the month of June, naturally, because, of course, all NFL festivities were done. So we've talked about the NBA growing, but the NFL's dominance as it pertains to viewership has been unprecedented, unrivaled. And so what is interesting to me is this very same point about which of these 2 games hold more merit and attention. Well,
when you find out, you let us know. TJ, what you think about Tannehill's? Is this Tannehill's last season? And what you say about what you think the Browns at Texans as a must-see matchup?
Yeah, both. This might be his last year if he shows up and pull. If he just do average as usual, yeah, I could see that being his last year as a quarterback. And then it's definitely a must see.
I think so too. And I'm not saying that the Panthers Browns ain't a must see. But it don't have the must see. It don't have the
Oh
mustard.
no. Hey, listen, Panthers Browns. If Baker Mayfield is starting, it's the must see of the year, bro.
I'm telling you. Hey, thank you, TJ.
If he starts,
thank you, TJ.
That's the game. That's week 1 must see. It might be the must. If he start, bro, come on, man.
Listen, you already know he
Hey, listen. If he wins, now you got to think about this. If he beats us, it might be some new commercials coming out, bro.
Hey, and I'm telling you this right now. I'm telling you this right now. If he starts, it's going to be must see. It's going to be must see regardless because they're going to play that whole storyline, Browns, Panthers, and him and all of that. But I guarantee you, whether he win it or lose it, it don't matter. As soon as that game is over with, they're gonna be talking about the upcoming December 4th matchup while it's still hot outside about Deshaun Watson and the Browns and the Texans.
No, by that time, all this stuff would have died down. I'm gonna be honest. All that stuff might be died down.
That's not going no, brother. That's not. Are you serious? That ain't going nowhere.
Because of week 1, it's such a culmination of every bit of those points.
Yeah, okay.
It might have died. It might die down by December 4th, bro.
No, it ain't.
Got their money.
No, it ain't.
If it would have been week 2,
check this out.
No, it ain't.
It's gonna be cold. December is gonna be cold. Them protesters ain't about to be out there like that.
I ain't saying. Oh, it's in Texas though. TJ.
Oh, it's in Texas. All right, well.
Okay, yeah. All right, we'll see. Yeah, you give me them numbers. When we come back next go around, we'll take a look and see what's going down. Anyway, and on that note, I'll leave you with this quote. I once cried because I had no shoes until I saw a man who had no feet. Meaning, be grateful for what you do have and not ungrateful for what you don't.
I got
it's
one
been
too.
fun.
Roses are red, violets are what color? Oh, violets are the same color as barbershop shirt.
See,
that's all I got.
Okay, so he can say that now, Brother Rich, because he gave Double J his t-shirt. Yeah.
USPS.
Yeah, got you. It's been fun, but we got to run. Don't forget to check us out every Sunday
at
9 on the PM side. We will be going to 8. We will be going to 8. We will be going to 8 on the PM side. Obviously, as I mentioned earlier,
Detroit Land coming soon.
Yeah, we're tinkering and toying with
welcome to Detroit Land
show days and show times. Yeah, not welcome to Detroit Land. Yeah, right. But anyway, check us out right here on the yard. Or you can look us up on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Shop's fan page, and of course YouTube. And make sure you hit that subscribe button. We'd be much obliged.
Yeah, the little bell for the notifications too.
Yeah, right. If that don't work, y'all can Google it. For my man's B Rich, Snowman, Double J, Mr. Detroit Land, and all those who follow and support us, we say thank you. I'm Barbershop Jay, and you've been listening to the Shop Report. And remember, the next time y'all want to know what's really going on, man, come to the shop. Walk-ins are always welcome. I can't even find the doggone.
Week 1. It's all coming down in week 1.
Yeah, we'll see. Walk-ins are always welcome. Holla.